Hello everyone, in the next video from Flashpoint campaign Southward Storm, we are back to final push scenario and last 32 minutes are left to finish the scenario, so we are trying to recapture some of the objectives. Three of them are lost already. Three? I'm sorry, four of them are lost. So one is here, the other one is here where our second platoon from B company is fighting in close combat with mechanized infantry elements as far as I see. Then we have one objective over here, the junction of B13 and B470 highway. Then the next objective is over here, that's the one which is lost, and the last one is southwest of Bad Windsheim. We can see the scout unit stationing here. Mm, would be nice to recapture them, though honestly, I don't know whether it makes really sense. It depends on how is our perspective on that. So from purely military point of view, I think we are controlling almost all of those objectives except one, I guess. We don't see any movement here, so just taking back the objective just by sending your own troops to station on that hex, it really doesn't matter. I feel like, at least from my perspective, when I'm trying to check and try real life tactics and be more focused on purely tactical perspective and the engagements, I don't feel like sending the troops to take back the hex really matters. Though you can see that over here in Steinach we've encountered some units we didn't see before. So that's the interesting information, that's for sure. Uh, but on the other hand, I don't think really it makes sense to recapture them. Look at that objective. It's mostly the open ground. It's a plain field. I think we can easily control that field from the Bad Windsheim itself. I'm pretty sure that our troops can see everything that's going on around that area. So what's the point of sending the troops to take back the objective just because we would like to get a few more points at the end of the scenario? From my perspective, it doesn't make sense. I think we'll not struggle to take them back. Uh, I'm mostly concerned about eliminating as many units as possible. So I think also that actually the decision to send troops to Steinach makes sense because we want to control that town, and that gives us a lot of information what's going on here. We can you probably noticed that we weren't able to see who is stationing in Steinach, whether it's empty or not. They were not responding with fire. They were hiding probably in some buildings. So yeah, that's the real life scenario, and I think that's valuable to send your own troops to find out what's going on. We've already lost a couple of the units. I think like half of them are dead. I think we've lost two Bradleys trying to recapture it, or maybe Mark 19 GL. I don't really remember, but certainly we lost half of the units. We had six before. Now we have three. So our goal is to recapture Steinach. Also, I suppose the fire support provided by our Abramses is quite limited because now we are in Steinach itself, and I don't think that those units, the enemy units who are stationing in the Steinach, are easily detectable by our Abramses, and probably despite having line of sight on Steinach, we cannot detect such small elements hiding in the Steinach. So that's it. Mm, I could also send my first reconnaissance section to recapture bridge here, but actually the position where they are stationing, the berg, some kind of berg, I don't see the full name now, is providing us perfect position to overlook the area and maybe at least eliminate those air defense systems here. We have third platoon from B company, which could technically recapture the objective, but we don't have enough time. It's only 32 minutes left, so there is no chance we can reach the objective here. Uh, we can of course try. Why not? Let's give them the orders to do so. So we will follow uh, such path. We will of course screen, and you can see that that's gonna take them around 2 hours or hour and a half. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a reasonable, I think, time. But still, we don't have enough of time left for the whole scenario, so it doesn't really make sense. I'm slightly worried about what our mortar company is trying to do, because that's some kind of broken arrow call. And honestly, I would rather prefer to avoid such situations. So I think I will switch fire to the other location where enemy air defense system is stationing. I don't want to bombard my own troops. That doesn't make sense. Technically, I don't know how it works under the hood, whether we would hit our own troops or not. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. That's a large area, 500 meters. Maybe the rounds would only land on the enemies. Hmm. Actually, for learning purposes, let's try to do it. Because I'm very curious how that's gonna play out, whether we can hit our own troops or not. I have no idea. Mm, but that's it. The other thing left is first platoon from B company. I suppose. Okay, three Bradleys are still active. Okay. Well, that's a solid firepower. What about ammunition? Well, those are still still ready. We have plenty of toes left. We can try to switch position, capture the Schlossberg. Is that a Schlossberg? Let me screen and oh god, there's so many units dead here. I suppose it's Schlossberg. Mm, and we will get to that hex before the end of the scenario. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, so we can accept it. Mm, now let me take a look. Do we have anything else to do? I don't think so. Our A company is trying to, well, establish defense perimeter. The goal was different. The goal was to harass enemy artillery pieces as much as possible to minimize the fire support provided down south here. Uh, but it didn't work out. So okay, I think there is no point to waste time on anything else. Let's start one more cycle. Is that cycle going to end scenario? No, certainly not. Fortunately, first platoon from A company is bombarded by enemy artillery. There is a little skirmish going on in Steinach. Okay, good. We've managed to destroy something. Okay. First company bombarded. One Bradley is lost. Yeah, bombardment continues. Another unit lost. Now it's M47 Dragon. Yeah. They are continuing the bombardment because our third and second platoon are unable to disrupt enemy artillery pieces, and looks like they will demolish us. Yeah. So the unit has been reduced to 2 subunits. Perfect. Okay, looks like that unit will evaporate soon. Wondering what's left. I don't have information available now. One Bradley and one McRifle left. Okay. Yeah, they are bombarding us heavily, really. Yeah, this is really frustrating because we have vision on those targets here, and still we are unable to respond. We are unable to harass those units. Now the vision is lost, surprisingly. Okay, this is a bit annoying, if I'm honest with you. There's still a lot of more fire going on in Steinach. To my surprise, first Canada section is unable to detect air defense systems. Those are 3 Strelas in total, and they are stationing in the open field, so it's very interesting if we can hit them. I would understand that there was some kind of cover, but there is no cover at all. This is flat terrain, open ground. Wait, sorry. 10 minutes left. Cycle is almost over. Another Strela destroyed. Okay, so 10 minutes left. Are we going to do anything? We can switch position to our first platoon from A company to that hex. If that makes any sense, I think they will not reach that position before the end of the cycle. No, not really. So, quick look at next barrage call for my artillery. I think we can switch it. There is no need to bombard empty hex. It looks like the call was called off, if I can call it like that. Okay, wow, too many calls. Yeah, it was called off. The barrage was called off. So looks like there wasn't information provided that second platoon from B company is stationing in Steinach, and you want to avoid blue on blue fire. That's very nice. That's very nice. Either way, we can continue. 10 minutes left. There's really no need to do anything special. We've managed to destroy one more unit and another one, and looks like our victory point belongs to us again. Okay, so we've managed to recapture Steinach, which is very nice. And now 5 minutes left for this scenario. I'm still wondering how we could... Oh, we managed to find out another unit and destroy it. I'm wondering how we could disrupt enemy artillery. We've managed to hit a few of them, but still that wasn't enough. So, okay, battle is over. The enemy has suffered losses and withdrawals exceeding 70% and is reorganizing on the battlefield. HQ orders you to hold position and wait further orders. You and your forces secured a tactical win. Command congratulates you and rates your performance as competent and professional. Ah, okay. I wouldn't agree though, but I appreciate. Of course, due to the fact that your forces inflicted catastrophic losses, sudden death on the enemy, your outcome is rated one level higher than it would have been, and the enemy's one less based on points. Yeah. So we finished the battle with 45% by victory points value and 48% by number. And as I've mentioned before, that renders us useless. And let me find the graphics quickly. I will tell you how it's defined for NATO. Mm, I'm trying to find it on X. That was the information on Hex X or Twitter. Maybe I will call it just Twitter. Mm, where it could be. Am I able to find it now? I don't. Might be hard. Okay, I found it. Great. So we are below 50%. This is the step losses second. That's between 35 to 50%, and that's I suppose red. Indicates unit is at 69% strength. We are slightly below, which is combat ineffective. Major losses. Yeah, major losses. Though we are at 48%, which is actually black. Mm, and that says requires reconstruction before next mission. Yeah, exactly. So we've reached that level. This is called, by the way, uh, example of friendly to enemy losses percentages in green, amber, red, and black stages. Okay, you can Google it if you want. So yeah, We need reconstruction, we need reorganization and replenishments. So we are combat ineffective at that point. Uh, though it still claimed 6 Recce, 6 Helos, 40 tanks, which is one full tank battalion, 79 APCs, 51 infantry, 2 AT, 16 HQ, 18 air defense, 7 self-propelled RT, 3 RT, 26 utility, and 7 depot enemy subunits. Your force took very heavy losses. 13% permanent, 40% fallen out, and must refit for a considerable time to recover the 64 subunits that have fallen out. That's the only good information, that only 13% of permanent losses and 40% have fallen out, which means that we can still replenish those troops. Of course, it depends on the woods and on the level of damage. I think damages, yeah, kind of uh, on how we are able to how we can manage the repairment mm, of our vehicles. But if they are falling out, it means that we can repair them and send them back to line again, and that's pretty similar for soldiers as well. So that's the only good information, despite heavy losses. Your heroic death in battle saddens us all. In recognition of your efforts, your surviving family will receive full pension benefits calculated at the next higher rank. Wow, this is very nice. Now let's proceed. We will see all the units on the map. You can see we are here, which is tactical win. The lower margin though at around 70%. Your force seized 58% of the total victory points, which corresponds to tactical win due to hostile sudden death. Yep, you can see that we are left of 45% of starting force, and our enemies are left with 23% of starting force, which is great result. I think we can all agree that the enemy unit has simply evaporated. It has been obliterated during that scenario, and the only elements left are really mm, self-propelled artillery companies, as you can see here. So let's go quickly through that table. Uh, any interesting information? Not really. I think we can jump to Butcher's Bill. In Butcher's Bill, it looks like that. All tanks destroyed, almost all APCs destroyed, all infantry. We didn't manage to destroy self-propelled artillery. Only 7 of them destroyed. Same for artillery, which was used weird way. There are the mortars, so it's weird. What else? AT, anti-tank, all destroyed. Um, more than half of air defense systems destroyed. All helos destroyed. Air? We we've managed to destroy air assets. Okay, this is something I didn't expect. Utility, a lot of them destroyed. Only 13 active left, and almost whole depots. And then on our side, we lost half of our APCs, more than half of our infantry, almost all of our tanks available. But look at the difference, 40 to 14. This is a huge difference. Some of the recon units also destroyed. We've lost a lot of HQs, and that's a big mistake by me, because we let enemies to penetrate our lines and demolish our HQs, unfortunately. But we saved our artillery, only one element destroyed, and look at the difference. They had 36 self-propelled artillery pieces and 12 artillery pieces to our only 6 artillery pieces. This is crazy, absolutely crazy. Then we have 8 AT anti-tank, self-propelled anti-tank subunits destroyed. Yeah, we've lost all of them, unfortunately. And then we have AT, AD, half of our helos destroyed. Surprisingly, all of our ADs survived. No air defense systems, no, air assets, I'm sorry. Almost all utility and all depot survived. I'm very curious about those air assets. I didn't know that we managed to destroy them. Where we can find it? Those are our units. A bit more detailed information if you are curious. And here we have information about the enemies. Mm, where are those SU Su-24 Fencer CAS aircraft? Withdrawn. Okay, yeah, they withdrawn. We didn't destroy them. They just withdrawn. Okay, that makes sense. Uh, because I didn't see the information that our Manpat team managed to destroy them, so that was a bit misleading. But now it's clear. So they just withdrew. Okay, that's great. By the way, in total they had mm, 407 subunits available, and only 104 is still running. So we well destroyed. Almost 200 is fallen out, and almost 100 is destroyed. I think this is a sublime result in that aspect, despite heavy losses on our side. So then final report, scenario description. We can close it as well. Now we can quickly go through the map, and you can see that they have still mortar sub unit left, which is weird though. There is some air defense system left. We have information; those are free. Strelas, they have plenty of those air defense systems. That's crazy amount, and how many we destroyed of them? Wow. And we can see there's still units stationing next to the most southern objective. Only four BMPs survived, and here we have what? One BMP and three Strela. This is quite surprising that we cannot see them because, again, cover 10%, concealment 19%. If we turn on line of sight tool, we can perfectly see that hex. So Mm, this is something I'm not I don't understand sometimes. The open fields should suggest that we can see those targets, especially with our optics mounted on Bradleys. Look at that. Sensors. There's plenty of different sensors and optical gun sights with zoom, without zoom, whatever you want. Uh, Low magnification visible spectrum, thermal imager sights, they should be easily visible by us, even by those tanks stationing here. If we turn on line of sight tool, it says we can easily see that hex. I think they should be easy target for all those units. But they are not. So okay, we have to accept that. Then there's one more air defense system, probably yeah, again, three Strelas. They are also stationing in the open field, and that's again quite surprising to me. Concealment only 20%. Three Strelas, those are not the biggest vehicles, but still they are vehicles and they are stationing in the open field. I suppose that my Bradleys or my Abramses should be able to see them easily if I turn on line of sight. Yeah, absolutely. But we didn't see them, so it is what it is. Then we have, of course, the highway full of enemies, bodies, and vehicles. That's a true mayhem over here. Look at that. Absolutely ridiculous. So many of them died here. And I think as well, so many of them died here on the objective itself. Look at that. Uh, there were stationing two companies, mechanized infantry companies, as far as I remember, and we almost decimated them completely here. This is crazy. And what else? Of course, all objectives are lost, but they are unprotected by the enemies. So, to be honest, I don't think like they belong to them. I think they should be some kind of contested or under. no one's control. That would make most sense. So that's something also to, of course, I assume it's a bit harder to implement, but it's at the same time quite misleading because they are not under Russian control. So, and still they get some points. So if you evaluate scenario based on victory points, yeah, they get additional points because of that. So it is what it is. I think it should be improved. But let's continue. What else we have? We have some reconnaissance elements. Here we have one BRDM2 and two times scouts, and again one BRDM2 and two times scouts. It's interesting that the icon is completely different. So that's the wheeled vehicle because those well wheels dots indicates that's a wheeled vehicle. That's a wheeled cavalry unit. Here we have mechanized unit, mechanized, well, cavalry as well, uh, or armored cavalry. But the subunits are exactly the same, so it's interesting. Though they are traveling on legs, so okay. Then we have some leftovers from FARP left. That's one Igla and one FARP. And then we have bulk of enemy artillery left. We have Major HQ. That's the three dashes. That's a regimental HQ, right? Am I correct? Wait a second. I might be confusing something. So that's a company. Then we have two dashes battalion, and yeah, I think for Russians that's the regimental HQ, I suppose. Yeah, because they are operate with regiments, right? So that would be correct. Okay. So yeah, the full HQ is still left. It says though veteran utility vehicle HQ company, but single dash is a company. So here we have three dashes, which is regiment. So well, it is what it is. Don't ask me why. Then we have what's that? Oh, that's the HQ responsible for the artillery. Uh, Next to them we have platoon of self-prepared artillery, 6 Gvozdikas and 2 MTLBU, and then we have just a copy paste of them. So another self-prepared artillery platoon, and another one with 6 Gvozdikas each. Then we have one self-prepared artillery platoon, the one who which experienced some losses. And let me take a look. So two MTLBs left and two Gvozdikas. And next we have one more HQ for self-prepared artillery and almost two full platoons of self-prepared artillery. And again, 6-2 S1 Gvozdika. And here, how many? Looks like we've managed to destroy a couple of them here as well. Two MTLB and three Gvozdikas left. And I think that would be it. I suppose I don't need to add anything more. As I've said before, the major mistake was to send a company alone trying to outflank Bad Windsheim and recapture it. We managed to get a few good kills in Bad Windsheim itself to disrupt enemy organization in the area, but the major goal was to disrupt and harass enemy artillery, and we didn't manage to do that. Unfortunately, by performing that action, we lost plenty of our troops. So that certainly wasn't worth it because the enemy artillery was still able to provide enough fire support to advancing elements down south. So instead of sending a company on a lone mission, I would consolidate them around the objective, around NC, capture those hills, and even if enemies would be able to penetrate our first defense line, they would be slaughtered in that area by mostly our Abramses and also anti-tank vehicles equipped with those. So that's it. That was the last episode of a final push scenario. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully see you in the next one. I have no clue what the next scenario will be, but again, that will be medium-sized scenario, so I would expect similar amount of units and similar time required to finish the scenario. We will see whether that will be the offensive scenario or defensive scenario. Usually those are defensive scenarios because the NATO is regarded as a defensive side in that game, in that tool, because that's the Cold War. So usually we either counterattack or defend, and that's fine. I prefer defensive actions. I'm not a huge fan of offensive movements. I usually don't have enough tactical acumen to perform such complex actions and coordinate everything. I think last thing to check reported kills and claims. So in total, we've managed to destroy 261 enemy elements. And now I'm closing that tab, and I'm going to say once again, thank you and see you in the next scenario. Goodbye.